at 6.
They're charging us $75 if we're a day late on rent, and yet, look at this, we can't even get out. The snowstorm came through. They knew it was coming.
Anger, despair, and just plain disgust are some of the feelings snowed-in Fargo residents shared with our whistleblower hotline. The issue is at a property that has new owners as of a few months ago. Valley News Team's Joshua Peguero spoke with people still struggling to leave their homes days after the storm.
Chad Seba says he cleared the front of his place immediately after it snowed so he can get to work.
Look at this.
Oh, wow, that's your car?
That's my pickup right there.
Seba lives at Countryside Estates. Tuesday morning, management used a pickup truck with a plow attached to remove snow. But all they did was push the snow Seba shoveled out back onto his lot.
If you look over here, you can see the snowbanks, how big they are. If you come up there and look, I had to snow blow around so I could get my vehicle back to park it in there again. It took me an hour and a half after work, parked in the street, so I could get my car back to where I could park it.
Seba's frustration is one of many shared by others living at Countryside.
Trying to get a hold of them is like ghosts. Just don't understand why they can't clean it up.
The property was bought a few months ago by Haven Park Capital Partners. Residents say they never had issues with snow removal until this new company.
This is not any better than what it used to be. The old company that used to have it would work sometimes all night to keep snow off the street.
Juan Hernandez says his wife missed a doctor's appointment because they could not dig themselves out. There's so much compact snow in this area that even the FedEx truck got stuck trying to deliver a package. Seba was able to pull the FedEx truck using his own pickup. For residents, they say this scene was just an example of how bad their streets are and the lack of care by management. In Fargo, Joshua Peguero, Valley News Live.
A spokesman for Haven Park Capital says plowing the snow at Countryside is an issue, and they've been working to address it. And if you need help uncovering fraud or corruption in your community, call our whistleblower hotline, 237-6576, and leave your tip. A member of our investigative team will get on the case and go to work to expose the truth. For those of you planning to hit up downtown Fargo tonight for New Year's Eve, keep in mind there are parking restrictions due to snow removal. Fargo Public Works says cars are not allowed to park on avenues. Crews are hauling approximately 400 truckloads of snow. They'll be spending the next 4 to 5 days hauling it from the downtown area. Crews will next focus on snow emergency routes. The Bemidji Police Department is asking for help locating 35-year-old Matthew Asa. He was last seen on December 24th at the Northland Apartments in Bemidji. He's 5'7", 195 pounds, blue eyes, brown hair. He was last seen wearing a camo army jacket, black shoes, and possible sweatpants. He currently has his head shaved. If you have any information about him, you can call police. It is cold, but at least it's been quiet leading up to tonight's New Year's celebration. Let's see if it'll stay that way. Here's Hutch with your No Wait weather planner. Hutch.
Thanks so much, Andrea. Temperatures are coolest on the Minnesota side of the Red River. We have clear skies, and that's allowing us to cool off pretty quickly over there. Some clouds building into the west, and we have 30s in western North Dakota. It's in the teens for our western counties. Here is a look at the wind chills out there right now. Feels like 11 below in Thief River Falls. A satellite showing the impact of our snow was widespread. Not as much snow showing up on the ground in the trees of Minnesota, but that's typical. You can't see the snow down there on the ground. Here's a look at the last sunset of the year as we enjoyed some clearing skies, but not necessarily warm temperatures for your New Year's Eve. Here is your evening planner. Temperatures will be in the teens, fairly steady. We'll have increasing clouds, but not until late, Andrea, as we will see south winds out there. So if you are heading out and about, it'll be a little on the wind chilly side. Same thing for our northern communities. We do have a mixed bag on the way for New Year's Day. I'll have hour-by-hour details on what you can expect here in a few moments.
All right, thanks, Hutch. A 42-year-old man is facing multiple charges after police say he fired a gun inside an apartment in Grand Forks. Officials say Jeffrey Aldred has been charged with reckless endangerment and discharge of a firearm in city limits. The bullet went through 3 different units. No one was hit or hurt. It happened last night around 10 in the 600 block of First Avenue South in Grand Forks. Police said there wasn't much damage to the building. They also say this is an active investigation, and if you have any information, to please call them. The Moorhead Police Department will be strictly enforcing parking regulations in order to help public works crews clear the streets of snow from the major storm system this past weekend. Police say officers started tow tagging over 60 vehicles last night that have not been moved in the past 24 hours and say they'll begin impounding them this evening. The cost to get your car out of impound will start at around $125. Large drifts are swallowing many front doors and patios, causing problems for not only homeowners, but first responders as well, with some saying they had to shovel their way into homes over the weekend. And while they say the sooner you can clear some sort of path, the better in case of an emergency, Fargo Fire also reminds you to dig out fire hydrants in your neighborhood, saying it's been difficult to access them too.
You may not have a fire this year. Everybody kind of gets the attitude, well, it's not going to happen to me. Well, we respond on over 200 fires a year, so it's happening to people in town. It may not be your house, but your neighbor house.
Officials say the southwest part of town is the most difficult to respond to when bad weather hits, saying the lack of trees and developments makes it the perfect place for large drifts. One snowplow driver for the Minnesota Department of Transportation has definitely seen better days. This happened last night when the upright bed of his plow truck was a few inches too tall for the Bass Lake Road overpass on Highway 169 in the Twin Cities and got wedged underneath. The truck operator was spreading salt at the time. Engineers inspected the overpass before removing the truck bed and deemed the bridge structurally safe, but the incident did back up evening rush hour traffic for a few miles. New estimates from the U.S. Census Bureau show Minnesota's population growth slowed down slightly in 2019, and that has some concern the state could lose a congressional seat after the 2020 census. The spring census will determine how the country's 435 congressional seats are divvied up. Minnesota's population grew by about 33,000 people, or 0.6%. That's down slightly from the 0.7% last year. State demographer Susan Brower says she's less confident Minnesota will keep the seat, but that it's still within reach. North Dakota will again enlist the help of Hollywood actor Josh Duhamel to help promote tourism in his home state. The state will pay the movie star $175,000 over the next 2 years. The Minot native has collected more than $1 million since he began working for the tourism department in 2013. Department leaders say they plan to roll out the new 2-year advertising campaign next week. North Dakota had 22.6 million visitors in 2018, up more than 5% from the previous year, according to agency data. The agency says visitor spending totaled $3 billion, and that included $300 million in state and local taxes. The University of North Dakota is mourning the loss of Lowell Schweigert, who passed away on Sunday at the age of 63. Schweigert was an avid fan, supporter, and former student athlete at the University of North Dakota. He is also the brother of current UND head coach Bubba Schweigert. Funeral services will be held on Monday, January 6th. For more details, you can go to our website, valleynewslive.com. Later on Valley News Live at 6, a new partnership with the Game and Fish Department that's helping cut down on the destruction of road signs.
And the countdown begins. Your New Year's Eve celebrations look very quiet, clear and chilly, yes, with temperatures near 10 to 15 degrees for many of us, single digits out to the east in Minnesota. The temperature tomorrow looks pretty nice, but a mixed bag of precipitation could cause slippery conditions. I'll have the details in your forecast next.